Today, we're finally answering some of your questions.
Ooh, do they ask about me?
Yeah.
Yeah, do they ask about me? Nobody knows who you are. They'd only ask about me. Do you tell them how we met? Ooh, like an origin story. I love origin stories. Yeah, like Iron Man. Or the Phantom Menace. Ooh, I love the Phantom Menace. Sebulba's a jerk. We didn't get enough Jar Jar. I love those Gungans.
Hello all, I'm Josh, this is Josh Builds Stuff, and today we are finally doing that Q&A video that I've been talking about doing for so long, and we are doing that because we have just hit 1,000 subscribers recently. So if you are among those 1,000 subscribers, thank you so much. That's why we're doing this. And as an added way to say thank you, I wanted to do a little giveaway along with this Q&A. So what is it we're giving away? Well, none other than the highly sought after and hard to find yet now back in stock 501st Battle Pack. But I know what you're thinking, just one 501st Battle Pack to one lucky winner? No, in fact, we're going to give away not one, not two, but 3 501st Battle Packs to 3 lucky winners, thus increasing your chances of winning. So what is it you have to do to enter the giveaway? Well, I'll tell you up front because I'm sure some people may click away from the video immediately after this part. All you have to do is like this video, be subscribed to the channel, and add a comment down below. But wait, don't leave a comment just yet, because there may be additional things that you can add into your comment that will gain you additional entries into this giveaway. You see, doing those first 3 things will gain you a single entry to the giveaway. However, throughout the course of this video, I will reveal to you 2 more things that you can do to gain yourself 2 additional entries to the giveaway, thus increasing your chances of winning one of these battle packs by 3 times. So only leave your comment after I've revealed those extra details that will gain you those additional entries. Also, I'm aware that some of my viewers are international and it might cost a lot of money to try to ship one of these battle packs to you, but I still want you to be able to participate. Maybe we can work something out where I'll just send you a digital Lego gift card for the same amount that one of these battle packs would have been anyway. This giveaway will run for 2 weeks from the time I post this video, so check the description for the exact dates and time that the giveaway will run for, and I will update that description once the giveaway has ended in case you're watching this video sometime in the future. I will announce the winners of the giveaway either in a separate video in 2 weeks, or if I have a video that happens to be coming out around that time, I will announce it in that video. Now let's get to the Q&A, starting with the first question that I'm not actually going to answer. Why am I wearing a different shirt in the next shot? So some of these questions came from an online questionnaire of a list that I found of like getting to know you type questions. A lot of the questions came from comments from all of you, so let's get into them. First question, how old are you? I am 33 at the time of making this video. However, if you watch this video a year from now, I will be 34, and in 2 years I will be 35. You get the idea. What's your name? Really? Channel's called Josh Builds Stuff. Every video I start off by saying, I'm Josh, this is Josh Builds Stuff. What do you think my name is? It's Michael. Where do you live? Currently, deep in the heart of Texas. Austin, Texas, that is, or rather one city north of Austin, Texas, but my wife and I moved to Austin about 5 years ago at this point, but I was actually born and raised in South Florida. And I gotta say, like, all the crazy stories you hear coming out of Florida, they're not really true. But in a lot of ways, a lot of the crazy stories you hear about the people in Florida, a lot of them are true. Let's see, this is a 3-parter. What is the name of the street you grew up on? What is the name of your first pet? And who do you bank with? Question seems a little fishy, if you know what I mean. Sunshine Drive. Jenna, she was a Doberman, and I loved her dearly. And I don't trust banks. I bury my money in the backyard like any good Texan should. What else are you a fan of besides Lego? Star Wars, obviously. Also Marvel I like a lot, specifically the MCU, and then Disney stuff is big for me, specifically Disney World, because like I said, I grew up in South Florida and was lucky enough to be able to visit the Disney parks a whole lot as a kid. Favorite Lego theme? Kind of the same answer as the last question. Star Wars, by a long shot, obviously. Marvel, also, I like a lot. I would say Disney, but there aren't a ton of Disney themed sets, though I will buy some. I also really like a lot of the sets that come out of ideas. I like a lot of the creator expert sets. So really everything, but Star Wars is the main answer there. My dream Lego theme / set. I would have to say anything Jules Verne related would make for a really cool theme. Maybe something in like the kind of steampunky late Industrial Revolution kind of era, or in the same vein of Disney stuff, maybe a whole theme revolving around Disney parks. Anything like ride vehicles, dioramas, show buildings, characters, anything. Like I said, I really like the Disney parks. My dream Lego set is an easy answer, and that would be to have a very large UCS scale kind of Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, you know, Captain Nemo's submarine from the book / movie / Disney ride. And in the early days of LEGO Ideas, there was actually a Nautilus that was approved and got 10,000 votes and got considered as an official LEGO set, and then sadly was not actually approved beyond that point. I think that was created by a dude called Orion Pax. I'm not sure, but that dude makes some incredible LEGO creations. Speaking a little more to that kind of obsession with 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and specifically the Nautilus, it all kind of stems from the same place, as long as we're getting to know each other a little better. So I said I love the Disney parks. I've also always loved marine biology. I think those two things kind of came from growing up in South Florida. And in the early 90s, and I guess earlier than that, but when I was alive in the early 90s, there was a Disney ride that was called 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and you would get on board the Nautilus and you would kind of go on a little underwater ride, and it was my favorite ride by far when I was a kid. And I loved everything Disney related, but specifically that ride, and I think it closed in like 94 or 95, and that was devastating to me. But I love that ride. I also just loved the book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and the movie that Disney made in 1954. And so all of these things come together, including my love of marine biology, which is still around, and I wanted to be a marine biologist when I was growing up. I didn't turn out to be a marine biologist, but I think this kind of conglomeration of all of these things that I like with Disney and the Nautilus and 20,000 Leagues and marine biology, they all kind of crushed together into this weird love / obsession with Jules Verne, but specifically 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This seems like a good time to offer you the ability to gain an additional entry in the giveaway that we're doing by answering this simple question within your comment that you're going to leave below. If you were in the Star Wars universe, what color would your lightsaber be? Just include a color somewhere in your comment and I'll know what you mean, and you will get 2 entries at least in this giveaway. Why do you wear a hat in so many of your videos? That question has many answers. For one, it's my J hat, and both of my sons have J names as well, and they both have matching hats, and we all wear our hats when we go out together, and it's super cute. The second answer is because we're currently in a pandemic, and haircuts are illegal, and so it had been a very long time since I got a haircut, so I wore a hat to, you know, keep myself from having to do my hair. And the third, and maybe truest answer, is that I secretly want to be as much like Luke from Gilmore Girls as possible, and he very often wears a backwards baseball cap. If you've watched that show, though, you know Luke is the man. He cared so much for Lorelai, and it took them way too long to eventually get together. And he loved Rory as if she were his own daughter. And then when Jess, his nephew, came to live with him, he loved Jess as if he were his own son. And that was not an easy boy to love. That boy took some tough love. And I know the show was called Gilmore Girls, but I think it was as much about Luke as anyone. And I think as a character, he changed more than anyone else in Stars Hollow across the 9 seasons. What was the question again? Okay, let's get into some questions from some YouTube comments. The first one is from 2026 Joshua McBurney. Good name, by the way. I've got several people on my channel that are named Josh, and I see you, and I'm named Josh, so you know. But Josh asks, what's the oldest Lego set you own? The oldest Lego set I currently own is probably a couple of the Lego Star Wars sets that came out with like the first run of Lego Star Wars, which would be from 1999. Those are not the oldest Lego sets I have ever owned, obviously. I think I've owned ones from like late 80s to early 90s with like the Pirates and the Castle and the Adventure sets. I had a lot of those, but currently in my collection, I think I've got like, I found Anakin's Pod Racer recently and some Naboo Starfighter stuff and a Republic gunship. I think all of those were from those 1999 or very early runs of Lego Star Wars stuff. Brick Universe asks, what's your favorite Lego set? I've got this question from a couple different people. Brick Universe is, I believe, a French YouTuber who also does some Lego videos. He's a very nice guy and you should check him out. Even though if you're like me, you can't understand a word of what he's saying in his videos. But my favorite Lego set, overall, I think, is the UCS Millennium Falcon, which I am lucky enough to own and I'm looking at right behind the camera right now. But otherwise, that's a very hard question to ask. I like all of the UCS Star Wars ships that have come out recently. If we're not talking Star Wars, I like Ideas sets. The Pirates of the Barracuda Bay set is really big. I really like the Saturn V set. The Lunar Lander was cool. The Ship in a Bottle is actually way up there. Maybe I'm just naming my top sets that have come out recently. If we're talking Technic, the Lamborghini Sion that I'm also looking at behind me. Oh, and the Avengers Helicarrier. That's a great set. This is a hard question to answer, but all of those sets are great. Dads Are Overrated asks, what microphone do you use? First of all, they're not. Dads are not overrated. They're very important. I love mine very much. Shout out to John. He still hasn't started a channel called John Builds Stuff yet. But I am a dad, and I don't think I'm overrated. But the microphone that I use, I think it's called the Tascam DR10L. It's like $200 on Amazon. It is a lavalier microphone. It's currently hiding inside my shirt. It gives decent audio quality. It records directly to this little mic pack that I have clipped to myself, and then I can just transfer that to the computer, do a little bit of EQ stuff, and then go on with editing. I've also used a Blue Yeti USB microphone for some voiceover stuff, but in general, this is the only microphone that I use. Ryan McMurty asks, shout out to the McMurtster, he says, what's the story with the Stormtrooper? Does he have a name? The story with the Stormtrooper is a long and troubled one. I've had this fella hanging around with me for going on at least 10 years now. I found him wandering the streets after the Empire was defeated. He didn't know what to do with his life. He was kind of lost. No, he's a costume. He's a suit. I showed in the Baby Yoda video I was wearing the suit at Halloween. But fun fact, this is not the original Stormtrooper. This is the original Stormtrooper. Also, yes, the Stormtrooper does have a name. On my left here is Tupac, and on my right, that is Tupac. Their official designation is TK for Tupac, and yes, they have the same name because, I don't know, the Stormtrooper's name is just Tupac. It doesn't matter who the Stormtrooper is, his name is Tupac. But why is the Stormtrooper named Tupac, you might ask? It's not actually a direct reference to the rapper. It's actually a Scrubs reference, you know, the Doctor show from a few years back. I'll stick a clip in here, unless it'll get me a copyright strike.
Don't think that when you go blind, I'm gonna go get you no seeing eye dog.
I'm gonna name him Gizmo.
That's what we were gonna name our robot.
Oh, well, when we get the robot, we'll just name him Tupac.
Tupac, may I please have some waffles? Would you like some syrup? Yeah, that'll be fine. It'll work.
They called a robot Tupac, and I thought that was funny. And at the time I had a Stormtrooper suit, and I was like, his name is Tupac, even though I know he's not a robot. It didn't make its sense, but it stuck, and he's always just, from that time on, ask any of my friends or anyone who's met me or him, he's been Tupac. But some details about the suits at the risk of seeming long-winded. This first suit, this is the old suit. Obviously, it's not in very great condition. That's my garage Stormtrooper suit. He stands in the garage. The nicer suit stays in the office with me. This one, it's a Ruby's suit. Ruby's makes Halloween costumes. It's not very accurate. It's not very comfortable to wear. Not that the nicer suit is any more comfortable. But it's not a great suit. It doesn't look great. It hasn't held up great over the years, and that's why he lives in my garage. Also, the mannequin that this suit is sitting on is really creepy. So I don't like to keep him in the house where me and my children sleep. So he is a Ruby suit on a creepy mannequin. This one over here is actually a set of armor made by a company called Anovos. I bought that kit for like $350, but it was like pieces of plastic that were basically molded straight out of molds, and I had to trim them and attach them and add straps and buckles and snaps and everything myself. So I largely assembled that suit myself, and so it's even more near and dear to my heart. But this one's sitting on a soft form mannequin with a wire form, so he's a little bit flexible, but not super flexible. So his helmet doesn't need to come off because he does not have a face. This seems like a good time for another chance to gain an additional entry to the giveaway. All you have to do is follow me on Twitter and or Instagram. And since it's going to be very difficult to actually check if you've done that, just in your comment also just say followed and I'll know what that means. Or leave your Twitter or Instagram handle and I'll follow you back. Also, there's not going to be any additional ways to gain entries after this point, so the most you can get is 3 doing this method and the couple of ways that I mentioned earlier. Next question. Blake Williams says, what do you regret the most? So much, man. Like, you ever think how your life might be different if you just made one or two little decisions differently? Like, you never got on that plane, you never returned that phone call. What if you never lit that fuse? Oh, I read that wrong. What Lego purchase do you regret the most? Maybe the Flintstones set. I bought that set and I was like, this would be cool, but it was overpriced, and then I sold it later. So I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. That, or maybe the ocean ship exploration ship that came out recently. Only because I wanted to buy that set early to try to get a review out before other people did. I ended up paying a bunch of money in international shipping, not liking the set that much. I ended up reselling that set too. So I guess I just sell things that I regret. What does that say about me? Matthew O'Reilly says a couple of questions here. What's your favorite set? What got you into Lego? Are you a Star Wars fan or a Lego fan first? And why do you like Stormtroopers so much? What's my favorite set? Answered that earlier. What got me into Lego? Probably my dad, I would assume, or maybe my older brother who my dad was buying sets for. But we were getting Lego sets when I was a little kid. I know we owned the Black Seas Barracuda, the pirate ship. So that came out in like '89. So I was 2 years old at that point. So maybe there were just always Legos in my house. Are you a Star Wars fan or a Lego fan first? That question is tough to answer because I know I had Lego sets very early, but I grew up on Star Wars also, mostly when the special editions came out. I think those were like the mid to late 90s, and so I would have been like 10 years old, the ideal age to get into Star Wars. And so I was also buying Star Wars sets when they came out in Lego. So it was kind of two things happening at the same time. But I definitely owned a lot of Lego before ever seeing Star Wars, because we had the pirate sets and the like adventure sets and the castle sets, and I think those were all out in like the early 90s, and so that may have been before I ever had a chance to watch Star Wars. So let's say Lego came first, but the two have just kind of been a constant in my life for as long as I can remember. Why do you like Stormtroopers so much? That one's also a little hard to answer because it's kind of a chicken and egg situation. I don't know what came first. I don't know if I bought the Stormtrooper suits because I liked Stormtroopers or because I like Stormtroopers so much because I bought the Stormtrooper suits. It was more likely that I've always just liked Star Wars a lot, and I always thought it'd be cool to own a full suit of armor from Star Wars, and Stormtrooper would be the way to go if you're getting a suit of armor. And so I got a suit of Stormtrooper armor, and I think that led to me liking Stormtroopers even more. So I like Stormtroopers so much because I own a set of Stormtrooper armor, but I own a set of Stormtrooper armor because I like Stormtroopers so much, and so on and so forth, and you know what I mean. Also, do you think Lego will release a Darth Vader helmet bust thing similar to the Stormtrooper / Boba Fett ones? I don't know if it was confirmed at the time of asking that question, or if that question was intended for the Q&A or just a general question in the comments below. But yes, I do think Lego will release a Darth Vader helmet, because it's been rumored at this point that they will, and kind of confirmed as a rumor that we're getting some new Star Wars helmets next year. I think we're getting Darth Vader, we're getting a Scout Trooper, and an Imperial probe droid, which will be interesting to see in that scale. Nikki Hansen says, happy birthday, ? And while I'm sure he did not intend for that question to be a part of this Q&A, and in fact he was just commenting on a different video where I said I may release that video on my birthday, he was just saying happy birthday and wasn't sure if the video had in fact come out on my birthday. It had, so thank you for that happy birthday. Also, I'm pretty sure that dude is from Norway, which is my favorite pavilion in the World Showcase of Epcot at Walt Disney World. Or at least it was my favorite pavilion before they changed the Maelstrom ride to the Frozen ride. Don't get me wrong, it's still an okay ride, but now the line is much longer, it's all hyped up, you gotta go straight there when the park opens. I don't know, I liked Maelstrom. Maybe I'm just yearning for the Epcot of the 80s that I guess I never experienced, so I guess I'm yearning for the Epcot of the mid-90s? I don't know. Shout out to Nikki Hansen from Norway. Alright, that's all the questions. I'm sure this video has gone very long, so I'll keep this outro short. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who has submitted questions, and good luck in the giveaway. Like I said, I will announce a winner in a separate video in 2 weeks, or I'll attach it to a video that I happen to release in 2 weeks. We'll see how it works out. Good luck to everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
I'm Tupac. I don't know where you get off calling yourself Tupac. I'm the original Tupac. I'm OG Tupac. Your armor looks like garbage. He upgraded as soon as he could. At least my mannequin has a face. Yeah, a face that would frighten children. Your armor is yellow. It's falling apart. Your armor looks like it came from a gumball machine. What does that even mean? I mean, you look like a cheap prize in a kiddie game.
This is why I don't put you two in the same room.